Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. The best Christmas presents are the ones you buy for yourself, especially when you are a synth nerd. Speaking of which, today we are going to talk about Moog Messenger. This 2025 analog mono is a prime candidate for shameless self-gifting. Gucci-like brand identity that reminds you of simpler times, a price tag that hurts just right, and features that help you convince yourself that the Moogs you already own are not enough. But believe me, Santa says no. At the first glance, in music, Moog Station is ticking all the boxes. A Swifty edition for goth kids in a mostly plastic enclosure that doesn't exactly scream premium but is equipped with a keyboard with aftertouch. Plenty of solid knobs. A best of modulation facilities directly accessible from the front panel in 2 levels of depth. And a display-less menu structure that makes little sense without the blessings of RTFM. Messenger tries hard to be a real Moog, so it still comes with buzzy raw oscillator tones, which can be pushed into Buchla-esque wave-folding territory. There's squelchy analog FM on tap. And oscillator sync goes well with the aforementioned modulation shortcuts. I've heard more pleasant sounding noise generators, but the sub oscillator is super versatile. Filter resonance on the otherwise universally acclaimed ladder filters has always been a bass killer, so Moog implemented the brand new Raz bass feature, which lets you crank that thing without people leaving the dance floor. I don't know if it takes away from the magic of it or if it's just something I need to get used to. There are 4 filter shapes available, and Oscillator 2 is pre-routed to cutoff for a pandemonium of 70 sci-fi FX. The straightforward and loopable ADSRs are easily accessible, and LFO2 is comfortably implemented into the mod wheels section. Nice. You will have to make do without any internal FX though. Before you summon Rudolph the UPS reindeer, we need to step down into the misty realm of the instrument's secondary functions. The ample patch memory needs to share the buttons with convoluted preference menus, advanced mod matrix functionality like meta round robins, the simple yet powerful transposable 64-step sequencer, which allows for basic per-step parameter recording. Polymeters are easy to set up, it boasts simple generative features, and of course Moog included an Arpeggiator which has a few tricks up its sleeve. I'm not a big fan of software editors, but it definitely makes sense here. The rear panel is missing a full MIDI trio, but wants to be friends with your Eurorack setup. There's an audio in with its own knob as well, which, if no connection is present, doubles as a pre-patched Minimoog style feedback loop. All this allows for somewhat plasticky takes on classic basses, bold and brash leads, Berlin's cool meandering, which tends to sound either too bright or too dull, and all kinds of analog noises yearning for external FX. the price is tempting. Instruments like Messenger clearly show where the brand is heading. Is it still a real Moog or just a generic synth people buy because of the fancy logo? You have already heard Messenger in today's intro tune. That's how I imagine a Donner Moog clone would sound like. Let's start this out with a few low-hanging fruits. That was a little out of tune, which is probably my fault. While I enjoy the precise punch in the lower frequencies, the sweet spots are surprisingly small for a ladder filter, and I noticed a certain aggressive timbre oftentimes associated with budget analog synths. Time to give the internal sequencer a try and work around this harshness with premium FX. That was more of an Eventide demo than one on the Messenger, but it clearly shows the difference between the slightly stuffy, dry bass tone and the ethereal magic of the highly processed ones. As we are talking about processing, I wanna know if we can make it sound like real music in this Disney Plus remake of a 70s space opera originally scored by a bunch of immortal aliens disguised as Krautrockers. As you might have noticed, I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to the latest Moog. Yes, it's a feature-rich analog synth keyboard for the price of a Mother-32, but neither the design reminiscent of popular budget synths nor the weirdly modern tone are up to the standards of the timeless classics. History has shown us what happens to renowned brands after becoming a specimen in music's trophy collection, so we can, for better or worse, expect the analog synth equivalent to the current MPC range somewhere between 2027 and 2030. Thanks for watching, have a super awesome Christmas and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and use one of the links down below to support the channel regardless of what your gas commands you to buy.